All right. This is like my third time trying to make this video. I got the drawing up there and everything. I done stopped drawing because I'm trying really hard to just try to focus on getting this video out because I really want to make it. But I got a new computer, praise the Lord. And the title of this video is basically gonna be called Despite Anything, Keep Going. And keep believing. Sorry, despite anything, keep believing. Because your boy did not have the energy to keep believing or keep going because done been through a lot of stuff recently. Just life stuff, you know, life be life and whatever. And I just want to make a video about basically, not necessarily like talk about all like the problems I've been through, but just like trying to motivate somebody if like maybe you feel that way, or maybe also try to encourage myself. You be like, you know, keep pushing myself because I feel better now that I got a new computer. I feel way much happier. But the computer is not everything. Like the computer is what gets me to my goals, my dreams. That's what makes me happy. But it's not everything. Everything of, you know, like it's not the grand thing, you know, the achievement or whatever. But it's a blessing in itself. But your boy was having struggles of trying to work on a short story, and I made this short story called when I was really sick. And shout out to my sister because she was taking care of me when I was sick. When I was trying to work on it, I was like, I was from both ends. That's all I'll basically say. I was working on a short story that's called "Here's to You." That's not the short story, but that's basically got lead into what I was going to yap about. And when I was feeling down and out, I was feeling really blue. I could not think about anything but the short story I had previously made because I was trying to work on a new short story that I was trying to make for this contest or whatever. And I was just really like blue because I was just like, dang, I know I'm capable of like doing something, of doing this thing. Because like when I was young, and I remember like being as an artist, I taught myself how to draw. No one has taught me how to draw. I've always taught everything that I learned. The only thing that somebody has taught me was two art teachers, two valuable lessons. One taught me how to draw fingers. He said, draw a box, think about it as French fries, draw the box, and then draw the fries, flipping and flopping in different angles. I was like, now I know how to draw hands. All because of him. Thank you. The other teacher, he taught me a valuable lesson where it was just like, there was this dude who was failing the class. He was like a senior when I was like a freshman. And I'm like, how do you feel art? All you gotta do is just draw. Me to art to me is like, I would die for it. You know, I love art. But the dude, he was a freshman. I was a freshman when he was a senior, and he was failing art. And he made a deal with the teacher, and he basically said, the teacher told him, if you draw something, you actually put effort into it, you make something really good, I'll go ahead and I'll pass you. I'll pass you. I'll take all the grades that you have made and I'll give you the grade, just pass you. So you don't flunk. Because he needed that exact class to pass. So I'm just, he asked me to do it. And me being just like somebody, I love art and stuff like that, you know, he like an older kid. So I'm thinking he all cool. I'm just like, I'm going to help him out. But I also wanted to think I was cool too, you know. And I was, I drew the thing for him. And then it wasn't even something that was amazing and good. But the teacher gave him an A. And then he told him, he was praising and stuff like that. He's like, wow, that's amazing, stuff like that. I'm just like, afterwards, I'm just like, you know, I drew that, right? He was like, yes, no, I knew you drew it. I was like, wait, what? He was like, yeah, I knew you drew it. But he was like, you shouldn't necessarily do stuff for people like that if you want the credit, if you want the honors, if you want the integrity, if you want the appreciation, the value and stuff like that, yada, 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 yada. This teacher also, I'll say this because in retrospect, I didn't like the lesson that he taught me, but it was a valuable lesson. I didn't like it at the time, but I like it now because I'm just like, I see it. I see it in every aspect of my life. But that kind of also makes me also at the same time make me not want to put art out as that much because I'm just like, I'm scared of AI stuff. I don't want AI stuff to steal my stuff. But at the same time, I'm very... I got talent. I know I got skills. So I like I said in the previous video as well, me and my friends went to go see Boy and the Heron. And I remember it was this like scene where there was like these gates. And one of my stories, because I have multiple stories. One of my stories have this thing where like, it's just like this golden gate looking thing. And I was like, it started out almost very similar because that's not how my story starts out. But it's like, it's a part in Boy and the Heron where you see this gate and how they show the gate and everything. I'm just like, oh my God, that's exactly how I imagined what's going to happen to my story. I'm just like, Hayao Miyazaki read my brain, no. But at first I didn't really want this TV. And somewhere down the line, this TV came in handy. So praise the Lord, thank you. See, you can't see the blessing until it happened yet. And that's kind of how life is too. And, you know, I was just basically saying in the previous video where the issue with my laptop, and it's not just like last year was just very hectic for me. And it doesn't have to do with just the laptop itself. It has to do with like I had a cousin that passed away last year, just getting over like my dad passing, so it just like hit me. Got threatened to get fired from my job. We don't get into too much about it, for job's sake or whatever. Almost got threatened to get fired from my job. Big yikes. I didn't necessarily do anything necessarily wrong or nothing like that, but it's just like I said, the thing that made me feel incompetence about the job is just like sometimes it's like it's very stressful or whatever, and it's really hard. The job is a job, so a job is a blessing. A job is a job, and I'm not necessarily complaining about it, but I'm just like, if God could put me anywhere I would want to be, I would want to be doing something creative. And I would love to produce and draw art, like as I'm doing right now. The same video or whatever. But to talk about like my story, for like what was going on during the time when I was trying to make this short story, basically, and 2025, and it's basically also to kind of say like for people that maybe might be going through something right now, try to give them encouragement, but also just trying to like spark energy back into myself. Just get me back into my mood, my swing, my mojo, my groove, Emperor's New Groove. Just trying to get back into the swing of things because I don't really feel like that energy there yet. Especially because like it's about like World War III is like kind of makes me nervous and like it's like more believable than it is like previously a couple of years ago. So it's like, but we gonna keep pushing, we're gonna keep progressing, and praying for everybody out there that is struggling because it's like people getting their internet cuts off all over the place. There's people struggling, people like Africa, Iran, people in Venezuela, other all over the place. But so I'm just praying for anybody that is in a tough situation as well. I'm hoping that you are okay as well. Don't care what you believe in. I am a Christian person, but as a human to human aspect, for a person that does believe in God, what God teaches me, I love you as a person first and foremost, and I hope that you're doing your best. I have one story that I made called "Here's to You." I'm working on another story that I won't name drop the name yet because I'm not done with it. And I want to make my art better than what it was previously, but I also got to learn how to use my Wacom tablet on this TV screen and this Mac Mini. I got to get used to it. And like this is like something I imported, like this art you see in the background. This is the art I imported from my laptop that I was working on. We're Subaru Hoshina from the anime Fragrant Flower Blooms Are Digging. I like a lot of anime. Like my cousin introduced me to anime. Multiple cousins. DBC when I was young. One of my boy cousins, girl cousin introduced me to Inuyasha. I used to be scared of Inuyasha, and I was just like, no, this stuff is low key kind of raw. Because I used to wake up in the middle of the night, and I'll see it on the screen. I'm like, oh my goodness, demons and monsters, yikes, because that's what it's in. And like I like a whole bunch of anime. I watched like Full Metal Alchemist, Fully Cooley, Azumanga Daioh, Lucky Star, tried to watch Cowboy Bebop. I didn't really get into it, but It's not a discussion about anime, whatever. One Piece, but like I said, Mushishi. That's a deep cut for the ones. That's a real one. But I think I might have mentioned Mushishi, so now I feel like I gotta name drop something else. Let me think. Sunny Boy. Bam. Okay, I think I named that one before in another video. Besides point, but that's besides point. It's not about a video about anime. This talking about like art itself, and the idea of what I want to say about like despite anything, keep believing. My laptop flopped. Basically, my laptop flopped. Was working on something. I was painting as I was working on it, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was working on something, and I was gonna work on a contest because it was like I was working on a contest while I was working on painting. I got multiple paintings I'm working on. I'm also working on a painting for a cousin that passed, and I'm just like, it's not the value of the thing of what the laptop was. Like this Mac Mini, the thing that I do my drawing program in, which is Clip Studio, that's what I used to draw. And Clip Studio works the best and performs the best when it's something like a Mac or something. I'm not really that good with computers, but when I was looking up specs for it, it's just like on the internet and stuff like that, it was like I kept on saying like, well, can it run on this computer? They're like, it can run on this computer, but you might not have access to all the things. Computer flopped. I was devastated. I was sad. And I was trying to get the computer fixed. And I went on this long old journey to go downtown to try to get it fixed or whatever. A lot of signs and wonders was happening to me as I was going to try to get my computer fixed. And it was like this lady that didn't have no money for the train. I had enough money in my pocket to get her money for the train, so I gave it to her. And I was being polite because I was just like, if it was me, the type of person I am, if it was me, if I was in that situation, I would want somebody to give me money. But I wasn't really in that type of mood. That's not how I was feeling. I was like all sad and depressed. I'm just like, I don't want to be bothered. I really don't want to mess with nobody. But I could not help but just like see her being like in a situation that seemed like this bus lady. Because also, I'll say this real quick, not to yap too much. But last time I got on the train, because I almost got threatened to get arrested last time I got on the metro. So I was just like, don't want to run into that again. I don't want to run into that person, whoever it was last time, who threatened to get me arrested. Because the first person, he was really cool. The first person I got on the train with, he gave me a ticket. But this big fat bald headed man. No offense to big fat bald headed people, y'all be cool. But this one big fat bald headed man wasn't my amigo. He was just like a very shisty, bogus person or whatever. And he threatened to get me arrested. He said, next time I see you, I'm gonna get you arrested. I was like, there won't be a next time, okay? You ain't finna see me ever again. But anywho, I was really sad. I gave her the money or whatever, and I was just like, she was in a situation. God put me in this place. I didn't have to be here. It was like perfect time to me. It just that's what it was giving me. And I was praying. I was like, okay, God. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, because God gonna know. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, God, I did something good. Like, can you help me out? Can you help me brother out? I don't want to feel that way, but I'm just like, can you help this? Can you make this computer work? And it did not work. It did not work when I went to try to get it fixed. And the dude was trying really hard to get it fixed or whatever. And I'm sorry because I'm talking really fast. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this under 30 minutes. But the dude was trying really hard to try to get my computer working. He could not get it on. So I went to this other shop. Told the dude on the phone, called him and everything. I was like, yo, can you try to at least open my computer? I don't want you to fix it. I just want you to unscrew it so I can see if it might be a possible battery issue, because I might try to buy a battery. Dude talked to me perfectly fine over the phone, like, yeah, you sure you can come to the shop or whatever. Come to the shop. Dude pulling out papers and documents for me to sign. I'm reading the papers. $50 to do this. $150 to $200 to do that. $200 to $500 to do that. I'm like, whoa, man. I told you on the phone I ain't having money. I'm like, I'll give you $20, $30 just to unscrew it if that's what you want. But I'm not gonna sign no paper. Then that you're gonna be trying to tell me, well, you did that, you did this, you ain't do that. I'm gonna see you in court. Yeah, I ain't gonna do none of that. So I didn't sign a paper. I think he still got my email. I don't know, but that's the point. But I'm just like, bro. Like, especially because he was like the same color as me. I'm like, black man to black man. I'm like, this black on black crime or something? Come on, what's up? What's up? Help a brother out. You money hungry? I'm just like, I'll give you $30 if you want the $30. Now, I think I ended up saying something like that to him before he even pulled out the paper. I'm like, I'll give you $20. I'll give you something. I just want you to open. That's all I say. I just want you to open. I was like, I'll give you something if you just open it. He pulled out the papers. Oh, yeah, right here. I'm like, no, thank you, sir. I'm gonna take my business elsewhere. Never got my business elsewhere. And then also, after I'll say this too, spoke to my bishop after I got my new computer. My bishop at church was like, I know stuff about computers. I probably could have helped you and try to get it working. I'm in my head, I'm just thinking, I'm like, it probably was just a battery issue. And I didn't even know the bishop knew stuff about computers like that. I'm just like, why did I not think of that? He probably even has a screw to get it open. I'm just like, I didn't know. I wish I knew. But that just goes to show you, just like with this TV thing I just said, sometimes you can have stuff that's blessing in disguise. You don't see the blessing in disguise, but that's why you always gotta be grateful and thankful for the things that you do. Like me, like I said, no one has taught me drawing. I've just always loved drawing in animation and cartoons and pictures. I got literally like the Starry Night hanging on my wall. I got paintings that I'm working on laying in my bed. Music. My dad got CDs that he had that my mom gave to me when he passed away. I thought all his stuff, got taken away by a tow truck when the tow truck took it one time. And there's a lot of stuff that happened in my dad's life too. But I thought all his music gone. I'm just like, I was very happy to have that disc. I'm just like, all this music, I get to listen to it. That's cool. That's what's up. To cut that short story about the laptop didn't work. Somehow, some way, a few months later, like maybe 3 or 4 months later, laptop did turn back on, but it also has this issue where it kind of cuts in and out and don't got that much storage left in it anyway. But it wasn't about, to me, it was not about having the laptop itself. It's about like all the stuff that like was holding me back to being able to be capable of what I wanted to create. Because sometimes I feel like I'm a very capable person, but I just feel like sometimes things get in my way. Like I just told you the story about how like the dude who I made the art for, he took my thing, he got the credit for it, and the teacher gassing him up, and I'm just like, it ain't even that good of a picture, but why you like glossing it up like, he did all that amazing stuff? And you're like, no, listen, when you do stuff, you need to, if you care about something, if you love something, you make sure that you cherish it, and you give it that energy, you be proud of it, and you stay consistent to the things that you like. It's like a relationship almost. If you love a girl and you say you love her or whatever, hold on, my thing cut out real quick, hold on, because this might be a part 2 or whatever. Well, you know what? No, this won't be a part 2. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I got the screen recording. Did I get the screen recording? Because, Lord, if I didn't get the screen recording the third time, we just going to post a picture of this thing. That's what y'all going to get. Okay, the screen recorder, because I was about to spaz out, yo. But it's like a relationship. You love a girl, and if you really love somebody, even if you care about it, even if you make mistakes, your thing should be like, despite anything that you go through with this person, it's to the grave. And that's why you always ain't supposed to be giving your energy out to everything, each and everything. But you should like, I'll say this in a religious aspect, right? love the people, trust people. God say love thy neighbor, trust. But also you can love from a distance. You know, you can love from a distance, but it's just like your energy is like your spiritual energy, the thing that God gives you. Don't entertain things that ain't worthwhile. And that's kind of the thing to me. Like I listened to this one dude, on the internet. His name is what's his name? Dang, I just listened to him. He like a Christian talk dude. What's his name? Welcome to Church Life. What's up? It's Church Life. It's Church Life. That's dude. That's his name. He had said this thing that was very like I'm saying about it right now. He was like, you might be into like you say. Like don't tell everything that you do, like all your ambitions, all your dreams, all your goals. That's why I always am very protective of the stuff that I make as well. But like I said, I'm skilled enough, I'm creative enough where I'm just like, somebody take my stuff, I can, whoop out the band and make something new and brand new and remix that stuff and be looking fly. But he said basically when he's talking about God, so like that, he was like, hey, be careful who you entertain because you might be entertaining an angel. But you also, he said, but also be careful who you entertain because you might be entertaining the evil spirit. Don't give your energy all to everything in every which way. And the struggle that I was just going through, like in retrospect now, because like I was saying in the previous video, when you're in a struggle, the struggle be having you kind of each and every which way. It wasn't about the having a laptop. It was about like being able to be where I want to get to, and achieve the goals that I want to do. Because I really want to get my stories done. And the only story that I've made that seems somewhat good to me, because my art style it varies sometimes. It's very on stories that I work on. It varies on like what I'm working on. Sometimes it's really different. Like I said, I'm gonna show y'all some pictures of stuff that I worked on. And it's like sometimes it's like I don't know how I do the things I do because I've taught myself how to art. I taught myself how to art, but I taught myself how to draw. And it's like I don't have no skill. I got a book that I just recently bought, and I'm just like trying to learn like the fundamentals of drawing and stuff because no one has taught me how to draw. I'm just like it's always been a me winging it type of stuff. Even when it comes to music, like I was in band in high school and stuff like that. But I was always sick all the time, or like I always missed school a lot and whatever. And I didn't have nowhere to really practice when I was at home because I used to live in an apartment, and I just like I don't have like the ability to be practicing like this, but I always loved like the trumpet. I used to play the trumpet. I love the trumpet so much, but I wasn't good at it. But I love music as well, and I try to teach myself stuff and stuff like that. And piano, like I know how to play chords and stuff like that now, which is good. But it takes me a long time to like produce some of the things I produce. I'm just sometimes like, how did I do that? So now like I'm kind of like in this phase of my life where I'm just like, I want to know the fundamentals. But there's a story I made called Here's to You, and I'll probably like put some pictures up right now as I'm yapping about it. And this video might have a little bit editing or whatever. But Here's to You is basically like this about this girl. Main character's name Mimi. The boy main character is the secondary character because the girl is the main character. Mimi is the main character. Secondary character is this boy named Conqueror. And I don't want to explain it too much. Like if you want to go out and watch it or read it, whatever. Oh, not read it. When I watch it, sorry. If you want to read it, it's on Manga Plus. It's called Here's to You by my artist name. My artist name is not Regalia Noir, but Noir yofukashi. I might just show it. If you want to read it, you can read it. If not, that's cool too. I'll drop maybe something down in the description, whatever. Yada yada yada. But and basically, Here's to You is about this girl named Mimi, and Mimi has this ability. Everybody in this world has this ability, basically called a fine print. And a fine print is supposed to be basically like the essence of what makes not your identity, but what your ambition basically is. Like how One Piece has hockey is basically the ambitions of what you manifests and brings all into your being as a person, your soul, your spirit, your identity, your belief, all that's a good stuff. And sometimes I like using like Japanese stuff and when I create stuff because manga is Japanese, but not all the time, but because I'm a very creative person. Like I said, one of my person has powers where he uses a ducky using the fountain use, but the only way he can use the fountain use is by summoning the rubber ducky, and it's not really the fountain use, but I can't go into full detail because I'll be yapping all day, like I said. But I'm very creative with the things that I come up with. I don't like just putting just swords and guns. I'm very unique with it, or whatever. And basically they have this ability where they use stamps. It's this thing in Japan where like instead of like when I don't know what it is, what they use it for, but I think it's called a hankai inkai, and it's basically like this stamp where like it's a stamp of approval. Sometimes you got to use for special business documents and stuff like that. And I liked the idea of that stamp, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna make that a power inside my story, and it's gonna be the tool. It's gonna be the thing that's used to like make the power tangible, like a weapon basically. you can basically use this stamp to summon the power, basically, right? And the fine print is like, it's like the fuel for the power. The fine print is like the thing that your energy, the power source that you use. And these characters have the ability to channel their goals, their ambitions through this stamp, and whatever they want to use to make like their powers enhance, to make like they goals or whatever they want to do. Like, let's say for example, you somebody who loves like you want to be like an amazing boxer, right? But you're not an amazing boxer. You can use your Hankai Enkai to enhance like your, like, imagine like your ability. You might not be a good boxer, but you have the ability to like be extremely flexible, and you can stretch like one Monkey D. Luffy. You can use your Hankai Enkai on your gloves, and you can basically make yourself stretch while you're using gloves, become flexible, and yada yada yada. You can punch. Like Mimi's power is basically like Mimi loves to write, right? And Mimi, when she makes, it's like not explained in the story, but it's like, oh, you can see how all her work is like all over the place, just like the boy Conqueror. He's struggling because he's trying to make art stuff, and he's like, it's no good, and he's just struggling, and he's like, he's trying to be a perfectionist, and nothing is going his way, and he's like, they're like, he's just so upset, no good, and he's just like panicking and stuff like that. But she uses her stamp to like basically forge a new path for their dreams to become a tangible, basically. So because they have to submit it to this thing or whatever, it's like, it's like, I read it if you want to read it, and you can come because like I said, I don't want to explain it. It's not that I can't explain it, because I'm explaining it now. Like I said, like the stamp itself is just basically like making your dreams, and it's big. Like, let's say this, right? Well, not to say this. Sorry, I'm gonna cut this part out. This is what I'm gonna say. This is how I'm explaining, because I'm basically explaining, like I said, the stamp itself is like the submitting your powers and your will on something and your ambition, but enhancing it using your powers. You don't have to be a creative, amazing writer, but your story, like imagine you write a story, right? You write a story. Let's say Mimi is not an amazing storyteller, but she could write a decent story. Once she puts her stamp into that story, you see the images, the belief that she has, the power, what she sees inside her heart, the amazingness, what she believes to be amazing. You feel those feelings. You see the capability of what she believes is capable, and you can see that just from the stamp alone. Like I said, I was going through a lot of stuff to try to get the story made, and I'm just like, dang. With this laptop thing, I'm just like, I was like, okay, if I can't, I wasn't gonna let it stop me per se, but I was still blue because it was like a lot of stuff on my laptop, a lot of stuff I didn't have backed up, and a lot of stuff also that was just like, it would stop me from being what I wanted to do, basically. And I'm just like, dang, I was just feeling really blue. And I'm just like, everything I'm doing is not going my way. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, my story is speaking to me. And it's like, it was just like, I just so happened to read my story again, because it was like, I couldn't necessarily do anything, and I was reminiscing. I'm just like, dang, I can't, do anything. I'm really sad. But it's like, because I'm not really that good of a anime artist. Like, I can draw anime using my laptop really good, but anime is really hard, especially like trying to draw it on a piece of paper. Like, if you're not just drawing a single, like this right here, this girl I got in the background, this girl from a Fragrance of a Flower, this is easy because this is a standalone picture. Now imagine how like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things going on at the same time, and also making like backgrounds and stuff like that, while also adding screen tones. That's really, really extremely hard. It's not as easy as it looks. But drawing something standalone is not that hard. Just make a what do they call it? Make a good composition, make it look nice. Like making a cover for something is way easier than drawing the actual book itself. On the train, I had enough money to give to the lady, so that I got on the train. Then I was handing out other money to other people, so I didn't have any more money in my pocket. But I'm just like, dang. He said it with so much pain, and I sit back, I'm just like, I'm sorry, man, I don't have any more money, I'm sorry. And I said it just like that. And I said, because I was saying too, I was kind of feel bad for him, because I'm like, it took him he didn't say nothing, nobody else, but he was just so cool. But he just said it to me with so much pain in his voice. I'm just like, this dude saying it with so much pain in his voice, and he's saying it how I'm feeling right now. So I'm just like, I'm gonna have to reciprocate back, because I feel really bad too. I feel bad for you, but I'm like, I'm feeling the same way you feeling right now about my computer. But I was not to sound like selfish or nothing, like greedy or nothing. What's the word I'm looking for? Materialistic. That's what I'm looking for. Materialistic, because like I said, it was not about the computer itself. And my writing system program that I use could run on anything besides a Mac with high quality stuff. I would 100% do it, baby. I would, but it doesn't. But I read my story, and it just all the stuff. I'll basically, just to cut it short, because I don't want to make it too long, and it's already at 34. 2025 was a hot mess for me, and especially because like it was like I kind of just like sat around trying to work on other stuff, and I was trying to also write out stuff and draw stuff like on like piece of paper. Because like I said, I was working on my paintings. I was like, I'm gonna work on my paintings, and I'm gonna just use my phone if I can't use like other stuff to work on it. So I didn't just sit around. Basically, I have like 5, 7, 8 other paintings that I'm working on. Still working on the painting what I'm trying to do for my cousin that passed away. And like I said, literally right after my dad, a couple of years after my dad passed, and I just got over it. So I'm just like, dang, tragedy after tragedy. And then every time I work on a painting, I get kind of sad. And sometimes I do cry. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be bawling like a little B word. And excuse my French, sorry guys, but I be bawling like a mug. And I hate to admit it, but it's just like I be crying like a hot mess sometimes too. But and I almost got fired, like I said. And I was like, dang, I just be feeling sometimes like really incompetent and like a lot of stuff that's like that I do because I just feel like to me, it's just like it feel like each and every way I'm going in life, just like that man had to scream to me for help, and I was like, I just had to reciprocate back. It's like sometimes life be feeling like that. I got a homeless friend, like that I used to know when I used to go to Walgreens to get my medication by. I used to take care of him. I don't see him on the streets no more, and I hope he with his brother because last time I talked to him before I was leaving, he just told me a story about how he had a brother, and he's like and I talked to him a lot, and I don't want to necessarily like tell his story and say how his personality is, because I only knew him for a glimpse, and I'm not that type of person where like I'll talk like bad about somebody. But it's just like some things that people talk about is just like I can when they talk about stuff, I'm like I can see how that got you there, and how this how you behave and how this got you there. But like I told you, I love this dude, this little homeless dude that was my friend or whatever, because I did think of him as a friend. I even asked for his name one time, but I forgot it. But if we see each other, I would know him as soon as I saw him. But he was telling me a story about how um uh he had a brother in the area, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know he had a brother. And he's like, yeah, I have a brother. Sometimes I go to him or whatever like that. And I'm just thinking in my head, I was like, why you don't go to your brother? And I ended up saying basically to that line of words. I didn't say it like that though, but I said nice. I was like, oh, if you got a brother, you should like go spend time with your brother. You should go like check on your brother. Like maybe you should like see if your brother like let you stay with you, stuff like that. Something very nice like that. And he was like, like he had like kind of like this. He was like, yeah, I could. He like me and my brother get along with my fine, but maybe like he was an older person too. Like I was like 24 when he was like when I was meeting him, and he's like seemed like he's maybe a little years older than me, maybe like 26 or maybe like 23 when I was like 24 or 22. And I'm just like I see this young person around my same age and he going through this thing. I'm just like, bro, what happened? What happened in your life? But that's not my place, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, despite anything, keep believing. And I don't have that energy in me right now. I really don't. Like I had some stuff that happened at work today that made me really sad. And a job is a job. A job is a blessing. Especially like I said, some of this stuff that's happening, like I said, we almost on the verge of World War III. It seems like hell, life going to hell in a handbasket, but we staying prayed up, we staying saved up, and it's gonna be okay. The thing that I wanted to yap about, like my story here's to you. And I'm gonna post more things about what I want to work on. Also, like I said, I'm gonna show some pictures and stuff that I work on. Also, I'm probably gonna have to edit this video, and I don't want to make this too long because now it's about to be 11:20, and I'm tired. It is like my third time trying to make this video. Like I said, you would be kindly if you want to. You could read here's to you. I don't really care if you. I'm not gonna say I don't care if you don't want to, but read it if you want to. I'm gonna be trying to post some more art stuff. I'm gonna try to post some produced stuff. I don't really have the energy that I'm portraying right now because I'll say it this way. Because it's like when I go different places, like my energy is not as bubbly as this because I'm still feeling really sad. Like I have family members that's in the hospital that I'm praying for. I got people struggling that I'm praying for. I got me going through the things that I'm going through, but I don't care about all that negativity. I'm keep on trying to believe. I keep on trying to go on, despite feeling a lot of the sad energies that I'm feeling, that I know are still around and still making me feel the ways that I'm feeling. I just want to, as I'm speaking right now, especially because it's art and I love art so much, and I can yap about art all day long. Anything like movies. I recently I watched. Sorry, I'm yapping now, but I'll say this real quick. Recently, I watched Pulp Fiction, and it's a pretty good movie. I'll give it a 9. It's not that amazing, but it's still good. It's still good. I wish it was it could have been shorter. I'm sorry. It could have been shorter. I got Grand Budapest right here. My mom recently put me on to Harlem Nights. Chef's Kiss. That's a good movie. But we watch some other movies too. I love creative stuff. I love creative stuff so much, and it makes me happy when it bubbly and very like you can I could be have like the most like down and out day, and somebody could talk to me about like some art stuff, and even if like I'm really sad and really blue, it'd be like, let's talk about Van Gogh. Somebody bring up something about Van Gogh. I'll be like, oh, I know some stuff about Van Gogh. Like I'll be preppy. I wouldn't necessarily say preppy, but I'll be more in a spirit to be like uplifting. Right now I'm not feeling that, but I'm trying to portray that. And I just want to say, like, like I said, right now I'm not really feeling how I'm feeling, but I just want to encourage people and just say, life is hard. Life is hard. Life is going to be a struggle. I'm trying really hard to work on my stories. I'm trying to be consistent. Now that I got this this desktop, it's go mode, baby. You see this drawing that I'm working on in the background? Worked on that on my laptop that kept on going in and out, kept on going in and out, kept on going in and out. And I was really trying to push it. I was posting stuff on Instagram being blue. I'm just like, nothing is working. I'm just like, every time I try to draw this thing, and it took me a really long time to try to even get this far. And I got like 3 different versions of this character that I drew. Just keep going. That's it. That's all I can say. Keep going. And if you do feel that you're like I said, sometimes I be feeling incapable, especially at work, and sometimes incapable of like the things that like drawing and stuff like that. I know I'm not amazing, but like I said, I can remix, make some stuff, make it look good. And sometimes people feel like especially me, sometimes I feel like people don't allow me my training grounds. I don't know if I said that yet. Like I made that that analogy like I made in the previous video, like when I say sometimes people expect you to be amazing at stuff because they see you doing stuff, but nobody sees the training. No one sees the 10,000 hours that you put in. No one sees all the struggles and the sweat and the tears, especially if you love something so much and you care about something so much. Like I told my cousin before, and I think I said this before in the video. I'm sorry I keep repeating myself if I do. I love producing. I love creative stuff in general alone. Just creative stuff alone. If I ain't got no hands, I'll use my nubs. If I ain't got my nubs, I'll use my teeth. If I ain't got no teeth, I'll use my mouth to try to suck on a pencil and draw something out or write something out. If my teeth jacked up or my mouth jacked up and it caused me pain, if I'm just a potato in the bed, as long as I got the way to speak, I'll yell it out to the world and have somebody maybe do something with it. I'll try my best. I'll keep pushing. And if, I can't do nothing, if I'm just a potato and, I'm just stuck, I'm gonna pray to God. I'm gonna just pray to God and just have him, give me the bliss that, I can just know that even in my heart of hearts, I did my best and tried. I don't want to live life with regrets, and I don't want to go through things knowing I was capable of doing something, but didn't. And I just want people to know that, despite anything, despite all the struggles, despite all the pain, and like I said, even though I'm not feeling this energy, how I'm feeling, how I'm portraying it, I just want to say, despite it all, just keep believing, because you got to keep believing. Who gonna believe if you don't believe for yourself, And yeah, that's how I'm gonna end it. I hope anybody that listens to this, I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you have a good year. Regalia Noir out. Bye.